Imagine being caught in a game, one where the rules are rigged against you and the only way to survive is to endure every grueling challenge. Sounds familiar, right? If you've watched Squid Game, you've seen how desperate contestants compete for a life-changing prize, all while a powerful force manipulates their every move. Now, here's the dark truth. Insurance companies are doing something very similar to injury victims. Like the contestants in Squid Game, injury victims are thrown into a system designed to prey on their financial desperation. You need compensation, you need help, but the insurance company, they're more interested in minimizing what they pay out. And they know that many victims won't survive the process to receive a big or fair payout. When you're injured in an accident, you're vulnerable. You're dealing with medical bills, lost wages, and the stress of recovery. It's a desperate time. And just like in Squid Game, that's when the insurance companies make their move. They're counting on you being too overwhelmed to fight back. You see, in Squid Game, contestants are pushed to their breaking points, competing in deadly challenges, all for the chance to win money and escape debt. For injury victims, the stakes may not be life or death, but the consequences are real. You're trying to recover your life after an accident, repaying huge medical bills, covering lost wages, and surviving the financial mess. And like the players in the show, insurance companies want to see if you'll fold under the pressure. They'll start with lowball offers, betting that you're too desperate or too exhausted to fight back. The truth is, just like in Squid Game, you may have to endure a long, painful process to get what you deserve. Filing a lawsuit, litigating your case, waiting, sometimes for years. Insurance companies are banking on the fact that you will give up before they ever have to pay real compensation. Sound familiar? In Squid Game, the only way to win big is to survive the game, outlast the contestants, and endure every brutal challenge. And unfortunately, the same can be true in a personal injury case. The only way to get full, fair compensation in many cases is to stick it out and fight through all the insurance company's tactics. So, how do you fight back? Here are some strategies to beat them at their own game. 1. Don't accept the first offer. First, don't accept that initial lowball offer. The only time you should ever consider accepting the first offer is if that first offer is to pay you all the available policy limits. It may seem tempting to get quick cash, especially when you're under financial strain, but insurance companies want to settle for as little as possible. They are hoping that you are too stressed or in such a bad financial situation that you will take the quick lowball offer. Instead, push back. Take the time to assess the full extent of your damages, including future medical costs, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Make it clear that you won't settle for less than you deserve. 2. Gather favorable evidence. The next step in fighting back is gathering all the evidence you can to support your case. The stronger your evidence, the harder it becomes for the insurance company to deny or downplay your claim. This includes medical records, accident reports, photos of the scene, and any witness statements. Documentation is key, and the more favorable evidence you have, the more leverage you have in negotiations. 3. File a lawsuit. If the insurance company still won't offer fair compensation, you may have to file a lawsuit. Yes, this is a long and sometimes exhausting process, but it shows them that you're serious. Much like in Squid Game, where only those who endure to the end have a shot at the prize, sometimes the only way to get the compensation you deserve is to do it the hard way. In an injury claim, that means to take your case to court. Filing a lawsuit forces the insurance company to take you seriously. It's a bold move that shows you're willing to wait and fight for what's right. Number 4, push for a trial date. After a lawsuit has been filed and your case has been worked up via written discovery and taking depositions, one of the most powerful strategies is pushing for a trial date. Why? Because insurance companies often drag their feet, hoping to wear you down. But once a trial date is set, the pressure shifts onto them. Suddenly, they know they have a deadline, and they're forced to evaluate the risk of going to trial. Insurance companies do not want to go to trial if they think it is too risky. It's costly, time-consuming, and they have a duty to protect their insured from a judgment in excess of the policy limits. Pushing for a trial date can often make them more willing to offer a fair settlement before things go that far. At the end of the day, the key to winning this game is showing the insurance company that you mean business. By refusing to back down, gathering solid evidence, filing a lawsuit if needed, and pushing for a trial, you're telling them that you won't be intimidated. When you push your case forward and show the insurance company that you're not afraid to go the distance, they'll start to take you seriously. And that's when you can win the compensation you are truly owed. Insurance companies are playing a game with your future, but if you are smart, patient, and persistent, you can beat them at their own game. Now that you know some ways you can beat the insurance companies at their own game, you might be hoping to avoid any mistakes that can ruin your injury claim payout. And if that sounds like you, then you should definitely watch this video about to pop up right here, where I reveal 8 mistakes that absolutely crush your injury claim. And for more helpful videos like this one, you can subscribe to my channel right here. Lastly, if you've been injured in Kentucky, remember to